Hello, folks. Welcome to our weekly select board meeting for June 18th. We're sort of back to normal, so we'll start with our town clerk's report.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot. I just wanted to mention again and remind people, nomination papers are available at the clerk's office for the elected positions coming up. Papers are due back by Monday, July 8th. We've only had 2 requests for nomination papers, so if you're looking to get involved, this is a great time. I just wanted to mention again, we've had 1 request for Piper. Do we have any sort of details to give out?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think I should do it separately, or can I kind of put them all in one? Like, this is what Piper Fund is, this is what Fox Fund is, or?
I would just concentrate on Piper because
Okay.
that's the only.
Oh, that's right, because we're
position.
appointing. Yep,
Yeah,
you're right.
just something like
Perfect.
just a short blurb
Yep.
on
Yeah.
what basically they do, just so we can answer them.
Yep. Okay.
Because there's no interest at this point, so that's a little.
Okay.
The state primary election was last Tuesday. It went very well, and we had a total of 79 voters that came out, so that was good. The town office will be closed tomorrow, Wednesday, June 19th, for Juneteenth. There still will be a planning board public hearing at 5:30. All the ordinances are posted on the website for your review. And, yeah, the floodplain is also posted. I haven't heard anything from the auditors. Where are we at? Does anyone?
I asked Debbie about that the other day. I said,
Yeah.
what are we up to? And she said 2022 maybe.
2022?
That's what I think she said.
So do we have the previous one?
From 2021?
Yeah.
Well, I would kind of assume, but I didn't ask her for it.
Okay.
20, yeah, I'm not sure.
I was just a little nervous because they were asking for stuff and it kind of shut off, so I didn't know if it was done and
Huh. Yep.
something we could provide at town meeting would be,
Yeah.
positive or something.
Maybe she has more information on it
Okay.
then. Yeah.
And that's really all I have. Tax collection updates are at the bottom. We did send out reminder notices to June 6th-ish and got a huge response on that. So I'm glad we did it. It was just a short little note, hey, don't forget about your taxes, they're still due, and worked out really well. So that's all I got.
Okay. You also put together a pretty comprehensive summary of employees appointed and all that good stuff, and
Yeah,
election and when their terms expire, so,
there's a lot of appointed positions that are gonna expire June 30th, so.
yep.
Everything in yellow is gonna expire, so. Those can be.
And we still need people, folks. Budget committee's gonna need some people. Planning board, school board.
Would that be appropriate to put out there so people know what's available? Those sheets maybe posted, or
I don't understand what you're asking.
should we post that sheet
Oh,
on
the
website
sheet.
for people to look at?
Well, just that we have,
See
I
if they're
think,
interested, they may not know what's
the
available.
following committees, boards have openings
Yeah,
for this coming election or something, and
like
just,
a blurb instead, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Case,
Yep,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Now, wait, Elijah Fox? Who's our Elijah Fox person? Ed, is that you?
You mean,
well, there's no one.
No, you two are looking at-
oh, I looked at Fox. He looked at Piper.
Is
I looked at
Fox,
Piper.
Fox aren't appointed, are they?
Yes, they are appointed.
Yeah, but that wasn't me.
Okay.
That was
Yeah, no, she just said.
Tiffany and Stacy and Jesse Stacy and somebody else.
No, I was referring to the the synopsis that you guys were
Oh,
looking
that was,
at.
that was the other one.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So yeah, I guess we would have to have Fox available.
I guess so,
See if
yeah.
anyone-
I'll probably do them separately then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that being published. It's all
It's all out
public
there.
information.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Alright.
You know, we might want to just say also that because the ad for the special town meeting is coming out today or
Okay.
tomorrow in the paper, that it was supposed to be June of 2024, not February. So
It was
that,
just in the language, right?
Yep.
The date on top was right, but it was just
Right.
the text.
the paragraph,
And
yeah.
also, there are a bunch
There's
of
a bunch of
typos that
typos.
were introduced at the other end. So we'll have a clean copy in next week's
In
shopping
next
guide.
week's.
Okay.
Yep.
Last week's minutes or notes and this week's agenda have been approved. And the bills and checks have been sent out, so
Almost.
we have a there's no ads right now to review. Code enforcement, state police, animal control. We've received all the reports for this month. Public hearing, the planning board, did we say that was
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
That's the public hearing, yeah.
Right.
And that's not only the planning board, we have articles on there as well. We, the select board.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, I thought that was published just planning board only on the ad.
I think it was.
Probably was.
It was,
yeah.
right, the
Oh,
public,
okay.
yeah, the vote, the special
Okay.
town meeting will be the,
Well, it's the public hearing on the
The
whole
whole
warrant,
warrant.
yeah.
There's been a lot of Facebook chatter on the special town meeting, so hopefully people
Yeah,
can
you
come
know,
out to that.
okay, the
and
warrants were not on
discuss
yet today's.
their thoughts. That would be great.
Yep.
But that's at 5:30 on here, right? Correct?
right,
Yep.
correct.
Oh. Shakopee Road solar update. Dave, you want to follow up on that?
Well, there's no follow-up after last week. I mean, Soltage has canceled the contract because they can't get CMP to agree to anything. And we're expecting a final payment, or actually they're gonna send us what they think the final payment should be prorated to, and we'll go from there. So we'll be looking for ideas for that property down there. We already started talking about it a little bit here.
And we've initiated a recreation committee that we're working on,
Oh, I didn't print that out
For
to
me.
sign. All right.
and that would probably be an ideal thing for the first thing for them to look at, was how can we use, well, about 10 acres of town property next to the salt shed or near the salt shed. So,
On the same side,
yeah,
yep.
maybe we can come up with something beneficial for the town, hopefully. Shakopee Rescue received a clean copy of the contract. We'd like to look it over to make sure that all the things that we wanted included were included. And if they are, we'll be signing this next week. You have an application for Board of Directors of Shakopee Rescue from Richard Patino gave us an extensive list of his resume, and we haven't had a chance to talk about it, so we can talk about it during the week and vote on this next week, or?
I might recommend that we ask him to come in sometime.
I thought he was gonna come in,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Debbie may have just put it off because we had so much going on.
right.
But yeah,
Okay.
so we'll check with Debbie.
So we'll plan on him coming in and saying hello.
Yeah. I'd like to meet him.
Medical leave law.
That's a new state, well, proposed law, that they're looking at,
Five people or more?
If you hire 5 people or more, if you're an employer of 5 people or more, then you're required to be part of the paid family medical leave.
yeah,
Cost, I believe, is shared between employer and the employee, is from what I read.
that's their recommendation.
Yeah.
I mean, if we
Yeah.
get to it, as I mentioned earlier, I would recommend that the town pay the full amount. It's,
Do we have 5 employees or more?
yes.
Okay.
We have 4 sitting right here, and there are 2 more, and 2 more, and 3 more on the road crew.
Okay, so the whole,
People we pay us
yeah,
a
okay.
paycheck to, yeah.
CMP offered to change streetlights. As I mentioned last week, we went through this before and felt comfortable with the decisions that were made, and we eliminated about, I'm gonna say, 11 streetlights a couple years ago. So we're gonna look at this proposal and see if what we wanna do. I mean, they wanna change to LED. There's a couple strengths of LED lights, you know, stronger and less bright. And there was some concern a couple of years ago that the strong LED lights were too strong and were interfering with people's houses and that type of thing, so. That'll be looked at in the next few weeks. We have a ballot for election to MMA's Legislative Policy Committee. We can nominate somebody, or someone can volunteer. There's there's only one opening really. Daniel Norwood from Acton is one member, and the other towns have an opportunity to select somebody. On the website, I'm sure there'll be the new fee schedule for Tri-Town. As you know, we can take not household trash, but specific items over there, furniture, bathtubs, lawnmowers, that type of thing. For a fee. Not your household trash though, folks. And if you can, we have our white goods being picked up. Is it the 28th?
28, yep.
So, save you some, if you're gonna get rid of something, folks, wait until the 28th. If it qualifies as a white good, you can have it picked up for, well, the cost of the Freon, if there's Freon involved.
And I'm just gonna note, because people always ask, even though most of them are white, toilets are not white goods. White goods are metal.
Toilets aren't white goods.
Nope, they are not.
Porcelain goods.
But they're white.
That's what I just said.
I know.
Even though.
We have just a note from our previous attorney, David Lowry. He was working on a few things that wrap up with basically the Stanley Building and actions against the town. So, 4 or 5 people involved now, or entities involved. He feels that it's a lot of foolishness. Southern Maine Planning has a new executive director, who I'm sure we'll be meeting with over the next few months. They give us, we sign up for membership, and they give us a lot of assistance with, for instance, the comprehensive plan. They're involved with that. They get us some great deals on salt for the winter time, because there's a collective of about 10 towns that participate, and they get a really good price. Actually, the savings in salt more than pays for their dues for the year.
They did a lot of work on the LD 2003 also.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep, and I'm working with them for a grant. So,
Do we have any more on the, speaking of grants and money, do we have any more on the doors? Is Keith Logan,
yeah,
how's he doing?
he's working on, he needs to get a part. So he's waiting for the part to come in, and then we're gonna figure out a day to get him in here when there's not, like on a Friday,
Okay,
so he doesn't have to interfere with people coming and going.
okay. Road Commissioner's working on some more FEMA reporting. We're still trying to get money back. And he's gonna be paving down in the stagecoach area over in Province Lake.
I did ask him to let you know, Danielle, when he was paving.
Well, we posted that
Yeah.
for last week, so
Right.
is that not happening, is that happening this week and not last week?
I don't think so. I didn't hear about it this week, but
Okay,
yeah,
He's finished and all that good stuff in that area?
I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
Because I know he went over to
Okay.
Pendexter and then patched up a little bit of Mudgett
Pendexter,
Road also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Pendexter too. Jen, do you want to give an update on our workshop on the cannabis?
Sure. I just wanted to mention too that the Merit Maine Retirement Program, you didn't mention that.
Okay.
And actually, this is the one that says employers with 5 or more employees. And the paid family medical leave had to do with percentages of what you would pay if you had 15 or less or 15 or more, so,
Right, yeah, I
yeah.
think that one's mandatory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the main retirement isn't, but something to, I think Debbie said maybe we'd discuss it next week. The cannabis ordinances that we're working on, we're going to get a completed draft from Ben, and then work on that next Tuesday, and go from there. See if everyone's happy with the wording and what we've come up with.
So there should be some voting on this by the town, maybe next month sometime?
Oh, well, we have to have a public
Well, I mean,
hearing,
that
and then
type of
yeah,
information type,
right, and then a vote, and then a
Yeah.
vote after that, so.
so.
Yep. I did want to mention too, there's a free food drive with Youthful Maine this Thursday. Okay, not tomorrow, but the next Thursday, 3 to 4 p.m.
Okay, not,
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, the next day,
Oh.
Thursday,
right, okay, I was gonna say tomorrow, Wednesday.
right.
Okay. So this coming Thursday,
Yep,
okay.
Youthful Maine. I meant to get it in paper and I didn't, so.
Dave, do you have anything,
I have a couple of things. I don't know if you guys get the recycling reports from Eco Maine, but our recycling percentage is dismal, if I do say. It's just over 10%, has been almost forever. Sometimes it dips a little below that. And folks, there's no reason not to recycle. It's so easy. You don't have to sort anything. You put it in a red bin or a bin with one of our stickers on it, and you put it out on the first and third Fridays with your trash. Please, let's get that going. We don't pay, we only pay for cartage on the recycling. We don't pay a tipping fee. Next, I did repair the spigot that's being used outside. It's now secured to the wall. However, I noted someone this morning had the hose out and they were pulling on it because the hose wasn't quite long enough. Please don't pull on that, because that securing that I did is not going to stand up to a lot of pulling. So we need a longer hose out there if that one doesn't reach.
I did email them.
Okay, thank you. The solar array monitor in our hall is back up and running. And the only thing I don't have, because I had to create a new account because of the way the Chrome stick is working now, I don't have the actual site that we were using to display that cycled through a couple of things. The one I have displaying now just shows our production for today. So we'll get that site updated. I did email Revision and ask them to send me what that site is. And then we had a workshop today with a company called iWorks,
Oh, yeah.
which is a company that has created a building and code enforcement app. And we're looking at the possibilities of using that. I would also like to see what Trio has, because that would integrate a little more with the system that we have. So I'll be requesting some information on that. And I think that's it. Thank you.
I see a comment about our recreation committee.
Yeah.
And that would be a good suggestion to put it on,
Okay.
yeah, I think we are, yep, five openings, I think is what we agreed on. We said 5 to 7 and settled on 5.
Yep. Yep.
And Ed had mentioned that we'll have all that land, and it would be a good recreation committee project to come up with something that we could do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, thanks for that. We'll add it to the list.
Dave, is there, on the water available at the town hall, are there hours of operation, days of use, or?
Nope, not right now. We still aren't at our limit. Once we get to our limit, then we will have to,
So
or close to our limit.
Water is available all the time?
24 hours a day on the outside spigot, that if you're facing the end of the building that has the door in it, it's to the left of that, almost down at the end of the building.
Okay, and that's good potable water and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
that is potable and tested annually. Will
Okay,
be probably tested next month. I usually do it in July.
That's a yearly basis thing?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And actually, we'll probably test for PFAS as well this year.
Uh-huh.
I'm a little scared, although we didn't have any sludge around here that I'm aware of.
All right,
All right.
thank you very much, folks.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And, we'll see you next week. See you folks next week, hopefully. Tell your friends. These are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities.